All right, I'm back. There was just too much news happening for me not to come and give it to you today. So I decided to take a little break and just come lay it out for you because there's a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces. Things are starting to come together. Things are beginning to be exposed. Uh, and if you still can't get it, man, you might need to remove your head from, and wipe your eyes so that you can see because this is. Anyway, let us get started. If you can like it, you can share it. Take it past where you found it. Seek first to understand, then to be understood, and never take the light of truth and place it under a basket. So let's get started. This guy named Derrick, that's who I'm going to deal with first. Also known as John of God. It's a faith healer. His clients include Bill Clinton and Oprah Winfrey. His clients includes Bill Clinton, Oprah Winfrey. Now remember, Oprah Winfrey used to consider Donald Trump one of her good friends. Till Donald Trump decided to run. Who runs the people who are against Donald Trump? Who is behind them? The 1%, the very wealthy. How do you think Oprah, who went from just doing a movie and Roots, I think that's what it was. No, it wasn't Roots. It was that movie with Danny, The Color Purple, to billionaire. Folks, you got to follow with me here now. You got to see behind the curtain. This guy has been arrested and accused of running one of the largest child sex rings in history. Well, I won't say in history, because I don't think anybody can beat the Romans. And I say we're fast returning to the Rome of Tiberius, Caligula, and Nero. Go look them up, okay? They did all kinds of damnable things to children, men and women, and their slaves. Oh God, I don't even want to get into it. So that's news, and that is significant. Why? Because there have been more sex stings and more people going after individuals accused of child sex trafficking in these last 18, 24 months than I have ever seen. And I keep up with what's going on. Here in Atlanta, the FBI arrested 169 people at the end of close of Super Bowl for child sex trafficking. Here in Atlanta, 169 people. Now, all of them may not have been in Atlanta, but it concluded with the Super Bowl here in Atlanta. 169 people. Several children were recovered. What else do we have going on? In, I forget the name of the state, but they have a bill that's going to the Senate. Now, here are some people that's actually trying to do something about it, taking a stand against abortion. They want a bill to make it a requirement that women know that you can reverse the morning after pill. They called it RU-486 when I was in the Navy, and hell, that was 30 years ago. They had it back then in the military. And also, they want to stop abortions where they rip the baby's body in parts. Dismemberment abortions is what they call it. So there's a bill to make that illegal. So that's what's happening as it relates to what we've allowed to happen to our children, and what another point that's significant about Bill Clinton, remember Epstein and the Lolita Express. And this guy was his faith healer, John of God. Yeah. All right, let's go on. I should have done this in a second video, and I may, but now that I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it anyway. You all remember when I made a video about She Must Be Believed, as put forth by Cory Booker and Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters, when they were talking about Judge Kavanaugh? She must be believed. Oh, okay. All right. Now that they want to expel their guy, okay, in Virginia, they want to move him out the way, the governor in Virginia, because of the blackface or KKK uniform. They want to move up another their guy. His name is, where did I put his name at? Justin Fairfax. Well, a woman has made a charge against him as having sexually assaulted her. Well, now, if she must be believed against Donald Trump, if she must be believed against Brett Kavanaugh, if a woman can make any kind of claim, shouldn't she must be believed in that particular case? I'll be sitting back waiting to see how that turns out. But the most important in all of this news, and something, my video I did this morning that's relevant to it, where I talked about in 2018, the House passed a bill that would have funded the wall for Trump, giving him the $5 billion. Got to the Senate, it was dead on arrival. Mitch McConnell said, we'll deal with that next year. That was the 1% pulling the strings on Mitch McConnell, because they don't want to fix the border issue. They don't want to deal with immigration. They need them in this country. That's why the Democrats are fighting so hard for illegals to break our laws and come into this country. They want no borders for America. The middle class must be decimated, and I have talked about this in many videos. So it was the rhinos in the Senate that created this mess that brought about the shutdown. And somebody pointed out, yeah, but the bill had a whole bunch of pork in it. Since when does pork make a difference to you with all of the spending and omnibus bills that they have been passing? That ain't never made a difference. And if you understood what 1913 did to this country, you would have a clue that it absolutely makes no difference how much money they spend. The only thing that will save our economy is to get rid of the Federal Reserve. And Donald Trump, I believe, if given a second term, will do just that, because he recognizes that the petrodollar is a failing economic system. It is a means by which the 1% take from us, saddle us with debt, and they get all the resources. We get the debt, they get all the resources, and that's what it's all about. Now, what am I getting to? Rand Paul, whom I have supported from day one, since I first learned his name. I supported his father. He is the only person standing with Trump. And what you all don't know about, they just did a non-binding resolution led by Mitch McConnell. GOP senators are rebuking Donald Trump for pulling our troops out of Afghanistan and Syria. Now, here's what you don't understand. Where they're moving them to out of the war zone, saving lives, if they needed to respond to something, they could respond in 5 minutes. So that's not really an issue. But we won't be on the battlefield. We won't be paying for the war effort in those two places. But they don't want that. They want them there. Let me tell you why. And Rand Paul is the only person standing with Trump on this openly, vocally. He even introduced another resolution to praise the president for having the balls to do what he knows needs to be done, going against the 1%. And Rand Paul laid it out on the table. We're not over there about the war anymore. Just like with Iraq, Bush, who got Colin Powell to lie, we went in there and blew that place the hell up. And groups like Halliburton, Dick Cheney, went in and made a ton of money. They got banked big time. And so what is happening now is the same thing. And Rand Paul I just heard the words come out of his mouth. I was so glad that the man, he admitted it. We aren't over there about the war effort. We're over there building bridges and roads and hotels. Hotels. That's what we're over there doing. That's what we're doing. That money would be better spent here in our country. Have you looked at New Jersey? I think that's where Newark, New Jersey. I think that's where this bum Cory Booker comes from. Have you seen his city? You could use some of that money, Cory. You ought to want him to come home. Have you seen Chicago? Some South Chicago? Have you seen parts of Detroit? What about Flint, Michigan, in the water situation? That money could be spent over here. But companies like Halliburton are getting rich. And these senators have been called and told to go and stop Trump. We put you in office, we can kick you out. We made you rich, we can make you broke. That's what this is about. So now they are lining up against Donald Trump, the man who is standing between them and we the people. And you know what? It's our fault because all those asses, y'all voted for him. Do you think I voted for David Perdue? Johnny Isaacson? Hell, I ran against both of them. I didn't vote for them. I wouldn't vote for a rhino if they put a gun to my head. You know, I often ask people in church, if somebody put a gun to your head and said, renounce Jesus Christ right now, what would you do? I say, don't answer me. Answer God in your own heart. Know what your salt is. I wrote friends in. I even would take pictures of my ballot and send it out. You know, Catherine Bernard, Hank Sullivan, you know, Ted Metz, Barbie Dunn. I would put down the names of my friends if there wasn't anybody that I didn't know anything about because they didn't put nothing on their website. So you got to have a platform for me. I need to be able to hold you accountable to something. And that's what we don't do. And I've given this website out hundreds of times. freedomindex.com / thenewamerican.com / freedom-index. Look up your representatives. Mia Love, touted as this new black Republican star. Hell, her constitutional voting record was less than 40%. Karen Handel, elected here in Georgia, got in, lost after the first run. Voting record less than 45%. This is what people do. They vote for these people because they drink the Kool-Aid. And I don't understand it. And I get so sick of running into people. Man, I wish you had ran. Do you live in Georgia? Yeah, I live in Georgia. You don't remember seeing my name on the ballot? No, man, I ain't see your name on the ballot. You know why? Because they had on Kool-Aid colored glasses. The only name they could see was the one that they heard. They ain't look at nothing else. Oh, where's Johnny Isaacson? Damn, whoever else was on there. This is how we got here, folks. And so now, sex traffickers are starting to be held to account. And all of that stuff has been happening behind the scenes and started when Trump got in office. Because we're seeing it on a scale never seen before. And these politicians, they're going to start being exposed. We had a bunch of them, about 40, leave office, wouldn't even run again. They don't want no parts of it. They don't want no parts of it. Just like this dude, Fairfax. So we'll see what's going to come out. Trump, you keep doing what you're doing. People, y'all start paying attention and hear what I'm saying, man. This stuff is serious. God will judge this country if we allow them to pass laws like they did in New York that would allow for the killing of a baby after it has been born. And that's not specifically New York's version. Up to the due date is theirs. But when this guy talked about we'll have a conversation, I did a video about it. Something's wrong. Something needs to be done. And y'all ought to go on Rand Paul's page and say, thank you, Rand Paul, for standing with Donald Trump. Because see, Rand Paul, trust me, if Rand Paul didn't think you were doing what needed to be done, Rand Paul wouldn't have your back. There's a reason why Rand Paul has got Trump's back. Because he knows, just like I know. And I hope you know. TMOTOFGA, drive time till next time.